explosions.
Yeah.
So they're working on they're trying to repair things from the explosion. Again, that was 8 months ago,
So all this construction happening is
the people in Beirut trying to recover from that explosion. Wow, so much damage. Okay, so now we are walking toward the epicenter of the explosion.
Yeah, it's just straight explosion.
Yeah, and again, the explosion was just about 8 months ago on August 4th, 2020. It was there were almost 3,000 tons of ammonium nitrate, which is a type of fertilizer, but highly explosive and actually used even by like terrorists like Timothy McVeigh in the United States when he destroyed the government building in Oklahoma City. He used ammonium nitrate, if I remember correctly. In fact, I'm sure of it. So it's a very dangerous substance. Here at the Port of Beirut, it had been stored for 6 years in a warehouse. It was confiscated by the Lebanese government off a ship owned by a guy in Cyprus, and the ship was deemed unseaworthy. So the ship now is at the bottom of the port, has been for about 6 years. But yeah, something set it off 8 months ago, and again, like I said last night on the video, this was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in human history. So can we walk over there? Let's go see. So we're pretty close to ground zero of the explosion here. Wow, this was a gas station, it looks like. Yeah, a lot of people killed.
How is the cement that's gone?
Yeah. Wow. So horrible. What a tragedy. Yeah, my gosh, it was. And there were people in here when this hit. I mean,
All the people,
so many people killed, so many injured, and then 300,000 left homeless by this one event. And if you look on Wikipedia, it says that the cause of the explosion is in essence, still unknown, and investigations continue. Even internationally, if I remember correctly, even the U.S. FBI was brought in to research this. But yeah, it's scary just thinking about that moment. Oh my gosh, it's scary. Seriously, like a war zone, Beirut. So here's one of the many high-rises that were suffered serious damage in the explosion. But what's interesting is that these little back streets, very close to the port, more or less survived intact. So we see that some of the shops are reopened now, and I think there's bars reopened, little cafes and things, and there's a lot of activity here. Yeah. So it's the city's bouncing back. Firefighters that were the first responders, and when the fire started at the warehouse, and they all got killed when the explosion happened, of course. This is the Port of Beirut, and this is the epicenter of the explosion right here. So this was
just decimated by the explosion. So this is what happened right here. This is Beirut City.
This day, I can't forget it. Really, I was on the highway. Then my boss, he called me, tell me, come to eat ice cream. Tell him I have little bit work. Let me finish it and then tell me no, come. So I was near here. This is maybe God, he want to protect me in this day. So I moved. Was sitting outside in the balcony of our work, eating ice cream. Suddenly I heard something, I don't know, in the sky, a big noise. And for a few seconds, I feel that I cannot respire, that the oxygen, I lose the oxygen from my body. And wow, I cannot explain after this big voice of the explosion. It was something really horrible. What you speak is not like what you feel. He jumped me more than 5-6 meters out, but thanks God, I lose some friends who was working in the port, because I was working in 2011 till 2013 in the port, and I have many friends there. I lose 2 of them.
And 2 of your friends got killed in the
Yeah, I was killed. I was working inside. Yeah,
And your apartment got damaged.
yeah, my apartment.
All the windows.
All the windows in my apartment, of the buildings that where I live. Yeah, as all the people who lives in Beirut. The voice, they heard it in the south, in the north, in the Mecca. The voice of the explosion.
To Cyprus and
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks God we're still
I'm
alive.
glad you survived, my brother, and God bless you. God bless Beirut.
Amen.
Just after 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday the 4th of August, an explosion ripped through Beirut's port. People in Lebanon's capital had earlier spotted a large fire at the port, billowing dark smoke into the air. There were reports that a warehouse containing fireworks had caught fire. And several videos of the scene showed coloured flashes in the flames. Videos from the scene suggest there was one smaller explosion. And then roughly 30 seconds later, this enormous shock. The blast struck with the force of a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. This was the aftermath. Windows shattered in buildings across the city and damaged cars on the roads near the port. This is where the explosion happened. 4 kilometers away, in the St. Maroun church, a priest and his congregation were taking part in Mass. The explosion was caught on camera 11 kilometers away in the Dabia Marina. The blast was so big that it was heard from the mountains. This video from the town of Brumana, 15 kilometers away, shows how far the shockwave reached. It was even heard and felt as far away as Cyprus, more than 125 miles across the Mediterranean. Aerial shots show the scale of the destruction of the port. It reportedly housed 85% of Lebanon's supply of grain, which was a strategic food reserve in a country crippled by economic meltdown. You can see the impact on the Beirut port silos building before and after the explosion. Surrounding the silos were corrugated iron and steel structures that have mostly been destroyed. These satellite images reveal the extent of the damage. This crater was once a warehouse. Now it's underwater. The colossal force was caused by the explosion of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, a highly reactive chemical which was being stored unsafely in a hangar on the port. Lebanon's Prime Minister Hassan Diab has promised that those responsible for the catastrophe will pay the price.